Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're installing the lower boost pipe. So this is the hot side boost pipe. This was supplied by Laird Performance, but it comes from SD Developments or Sico Developments. No idea. I'm currently got a few issues on my car, possibly, I might not. But it's not making the power that I expected it to, basically. It's very hard to explain. There'll be another video going up of me searching randomly. I do plan on getting it on the dyno within the next week or two, so look forward to that. But you know, what's better to solve problems than potentially add more problems by installing new parts into your car? So anyway, let's get straight onto that. It should be a nice easy install, like 2 hose clips and just some bolts there. But anyway, let's go. So we've got the car up, we've got 2 axle stands, so before anyone comments on that, so this is the pipe we're going to be disconnecting. So we're disconnecting it, I think, from here, and you can see it runs all the way along and then goes up into there. So I'm going to have to get under there at some point just to get to that point. But first thing we'll disconnect is here. Then we've got 2 bolts up here, so disconnect that first, 2 bolts up here, and then we can move up to that one over there. So I'm now under the car, hopefully you can see what I'm looking at, but basically that is the pipe that leads down to the resonated section of the hot pipe and then leads to the bolts in front. I know it's not focusing, but it's basically in front of my face, and you got a bolt here, or a clamp there, sorry. So clamp 2 bolts, which leads back past the resonated section and up towards the turbo. So I'm going to undo these bolts. I've already undone this clip here. Go under these 2 bolts and then we'll go from there. Cool, so that's the 2 nuts off. So now that can come down a bit. So I'm just going to do basically that hose clip back there. So that's the next plan, do that hose clip, undo that, and this whole pipe should pull out. Cool, so that's how the pipe's down. Just as a heads up, that is very tight onto that pipe. It's very, very tight, so you've really got to pull it. So just watch yourself with that one. But that side's off. I'm just going to pull the other side off now, and then we'll kind of measure up the new one. So just to compare the two, this is thicker overall, so it's a nice thick. Obviously this is metal, that's plastic with a metal resonator there. That's the resonator delete. So you, like I said before, you can just buy that section if you want to, but I think you might as well just do the whole thing. There's no point in not doing it all. And just to show you the difference between bore size, I'm trying not to do a camera trick, but they're about the same distance now, and as you can see, it slides on. So yeah, this is a much larger bore size. So yeah, let's get this one on the car. So what I've done is I've already tightened up the bottom one. The top one's nice and loose, so that's the one that's going to replace the turbo one. And then on this end we're going to use the original, which is right above my head. So we're going to use that one to connect that far end. So I'm just going to wiggle, basically, the first thing I'm going to do is wiggle this onto the turbo section. So I have messed up a little bit. You actually need to get rid, if you can see that, you have to get rid of this silicone section. I just took the bottom clamp off. You're supposed to take the top one off and get rid of the whole thing, because that new silicone there is going to replace it all. Right, so that is the hot side pipe attached to the turbo. I just need to do that top hose clamp up. I would recommend doing it with the metal pipe on, because then it gives you something to push the silicone pipe on with. Obviously you can do it however you want, but I've done it with it fully attached. Just make sure you fully seat it onto the turbo itself, and then everything should start lining up. So I'm just going to do that top clamp and I'll show you kind of where we're at. I'm not going to lie, so I'm struggling to get those studs seated as well as into the actual turbo silicone, so I've loosened everything. I'm just going to try and wiggle it into place the best I can, but that's really hard to get seated correctly. So I managed to get it seated over there. I'm going to push it a little bit more up. This is the 2 bolts here, hopefully you can see that. They're a little bit better now, and obviously the hose clip at the end. But overall, a little bit cramped down here. It's an easy job. It just, you know, just make sure you keep everything nice and loose, seat it in the correct place, and then do everything up. It's a classic thing of, I think I tightened something down too much and then something else didn't seat correctly, blah blah blah. So that is install complete. So we use the original hose here, goes back, you've got 2 bolts there, and then obviously it goes up into the turbo.